Today.
Hello, so today is Tuesday morning and I just have a few different thoughts to share. First one is practical. Oh, and if you notice it, our kitchen looks a bit different in the background. Johan's been working on our kitchen about, 6 months ago. Johan started renovating our kitchen because it's quite old, but it's something he does in his spare time and he is a busy person, so it happens a little bit here and a little bit there. But anyway, last week he started putting together the new cupboard so that when he pulls out the old cupboards that they'll be all ready to put in straight away. So that's why it looks a bit strange in the background. So this week I've been feeling a little bit overwhelmed, and part of the reason is that I still don't know whether I'm working at school next week. We have this is the last week of the holidays, so it's 1 week today before the kids go back to school, and I don't know whether I'm working there or not. That school hasn't let me know yet because they still don't know. COVID has caused a lot of chaos in our school, which I think is why everything is so last minute.
Hi.
And I've been interrupted. You want to say hello?
Yeah.
Now, can you play while Mummy talks?
Okay.
Good girl. So I was saying that I've been feeling a little bit overwhelmed, and also it is Hannah's birthday this week, and I always find birthdays a little bit overwhelming. And so yeah, I found one good tip that I often remind myself, and I probably mentioned it before. When you do feel overwhelmed, a good tip to remember is to prioritize what has to be done and to make those things top priority, and then if you have time to do the other things that you want to do, then do that. So yeah, this week I have to do Hannah's birthday. That's a priority. Johan also has something that he needs me to help him with, and so I have to make that a priority because it needs to be done. And also this week I've got to make sure the kids have their uniform ready to go back to school and everything they need to go back to school. And also meals are another priority for every day. Yesterday I didn't plan a meal. I had meat in the fridge that I could use, but yeah, it ended up being last minute planning what I was doing, and then it took longer than I thought, and it just adds a lot more stress. So just knowing what you're going to have for dinner and having the meat out, that can make things a lot less overwhelming as well. So yeah, when you feel overwhelmed, just to remember to prioritize what has to be done, and then if you have time, then to do the other things that you want to do. And last week I shared some thoughts about uncertainty, and since then I think it was on the weekend, Johanna was reading Story to the Children from our Bible story book. We usually read it, well, when Johan's not here I read it at breakfast time to the kids. When he's here, often we read it at lunchtime. But anyway, he was telling the story of, well, it says here the poor rich farmer, or the rich fool is another way of saying it, and that's the story Jesus told of a farmer who had so much food, his crops were doing so well that instead of sharing it with others, he stored it all up, he built bigger barns, and he thought he was prepared for the rest of his life, so he could just eat, drink, and be merry. So he thought everything was certain. He thought he had enough money and everything to last him the rest of his life. And yet God said he was a fool, because that night he died and he wasn't ready to die and to meet God, and here he was all prepared for the rest of his life and he was unprepared to die. And so I thought that was another story about uncertainties, because that's an example of someone who thought everything was certain, and yet he thought he was prepared, and yet he wasn't, because things didn't go the way that he'd planned. And anyway, the story went on to say, I'm just going to read it out. Don't keep worrying about where the next meal will come from or how you'll be able to afford new clothes for all the family. Think of the way in which God takes care of the birds, and they can't even earn their own living. God is your heavenly Father. If he provides for the birds and clothes the flowers so beautifully, he will certainly see that you have the things that you need. Put God first always, and he will take care of all your other worries and provide for all your needs. So that is good advice when things are uncertain, is to seek first the kingdom of God, or to put God first, and God will take care of everything else. And it's also, I think, an encouraging word for, I know some people have lost their jobs because of COVID, or their finances are a lot more uncertain, and that's also a good verse to remember, to put God first and God will take care of your needs. And one more thought. I read a poem this morning and I wrote it down in my journal. And it's kind of a prayer, and it's a prayer that I need to pray right now. And because I feel very impatient, and it says, God, teach me to be patient. Teach me to go slow. Teach me how to wait on you when my way I do not know. Teach me sweet forbearance when things do not go right, so I remain unruffled while others grow uptight. Teach me how to quiet my racing, rising heart, so I might hear the answer you are trying to impart. Teach me to let go, dear God, and pray undisturbed until my heart is filled with inner peace, and I learn to know your will. So that's a very good prayer to pray, especially if you feel overwhelmed or impatient or frustrated. And actually, I think it's a gift, but often when I read poems, it's as if I know a tune for them, which I think comes from God, because, it just comes really easy to me. It's as if I already know a tune for them. So, I hope I'm not the only weird one who sings in bed while they're doing their quiet time with a guitar before breakfast. But anyway, so I do have a tune for that, and I'll make that into a music video. There's actually a Bible verse that talks in Psalms, it talks about singing it loud on your bed, so it's actually biblical. And another reason I felt a bit overwhelmed with not knowing what I'm doing at school is that I have been asked to help with 2 other things, and I don't know if I can help with them, but it depends on how busy I am with Lydia or if I'm helping her at school. So that makes everything a little bit more uncertain too. And speaking of priorities, having time with God is a top priority as well. Often the rest of our day can go better if we prioritize having time with God as well. That can, like what that poem says, it can help us to be patient, help us to remain unruffled when things aren't going well. So that is something to prioritize, make a top priority to have some time with God. If you have babies, you might not be able to do it, first thing in the morning or whatever, but making it a priority to spend time with God is a important thing as well. Well, it is 10 o'clock at night and I'm the only one awake. Johan has to get up early in the morning and I'm about to go to bed, but I just wanted to share this quote which I read today. It is such a neat quote and it gives a really good perspective, and it was good for me to read. So it is by John Newton, and it says, I compare the troubles which we have to undergo in the course of the year to a great bundle of sticks, far too large for us to carry. But God does not require us to carry the whole bundle at once. He mercifully unties the bundle and gives us first one stick, which we are to carry today, and then another, which we are to carry tomorrow, and so on. This we might easily manage if we would only take the burden appointed for us each day. But we choose to increase our troubles by carrying yesterday's stick over again today, and adding tomorrow's burden to our load before we are required to bear it. So not just one step at a time, but one stick at a time. What are you doing, Joe?
Mixing.
What are you making?
Cake. The pink lady cake.
You are making a pink lady cake. That's funny. Hannah, what's the cake for?
My birthday.
So Hannah's making her own cake, well, and she's employed Joseph to help her. That's good teamwork. Does it look nice? It's not pink yet.
You have to still put the food coloring in.
Let's see what the other two are doing.
Now it's going to start. Wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all round and down. People on the bus go up and down, up and down, up and down. And the people on the bus go up and down, all round and down. The wheels on the bus goes beep, 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 beep. The wheels on the bus goes beep, 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 all round and down. The wipers on the bus swish, 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 down. Happy.
Who's happy?
Who's there?
Is that happy?
Look.
Are you going to sing?
Okay. Now it's out.
You Lydia sing.
Done.
Happiest
Mama.
Yeah, what are you doing over in the corner? What are you doing over there?
Yeah.
What are you doing? What Lydia's playing with? Are you playing church?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're singing. Something else we got in New Plymouth were these some more flashcards with just different pictures on there and the word as well, and they're really good for helping Lydia learn to talk. What is that one, Ned?
Bow.
Key.
D.
What's that one?
N.
What's that one?
Ra.
Duck.
Da.
What's that one?
Bow.
Lamp.
Ba.
What's that one?
Deal.
Girl.
Bow.
Drum. What's that? Cat.
Bear.
Bear.
As. Das. That. Bye. Da. Lily. Boo. And bow.
Boat.
Fish.
Making the most of summer and holidays and having picnics outside. Hannah made some jelly lollies today for her birthday. We found if you put cooking spray, they come out a whole lot easier and don't stick. I don't look that nice at the moment just because of the cooking spray, but it doesn't make them not stick. Today we are celebrating Hannah's 11th birthday. It's actually tomorrow, but we're celebrating it today since it works out better. And Hannah has organised nearly everything herself. She's done sandwiches and she made and iced and decorated her own cake. She organised the plates and everything. So that is nice. Lydia's sitting up waiting already and it's not still for another hour, Lydia. Hannah has just a few friends coming for lunch in the afternoon. She also made chocolate cupcakes yesterday and they're going to ice them together as well. She's very organised. Lydia's taking a video on her phone too. You made a nice video?
Yeah.
Yay! So I did finally hear back from school about Lydia and they found new teacher aides for her, so I was glad to hear. Fun idea for children for dinner is chicken skewers and putting capsicum and bacon, onion on as well.
I'm just doing chicken and bacon because I found out that I was just doing chicken and bacon.